Level 25, 267 of 500. Attention! You broke the rules and left the quest zone. Attention! You have received the punishment increasing pain. I opened my eyes. If I felt anything, it was anger at our defeat and the comrades I had to leave behind. The fact that I had no way to save them didn't make it any easier. Yet I didn't have time for self-pity and mourning the dead. Time remaining, pain control, 4 minutes and 49 seconds. I would die too, as soon as the timer reached 0, and I wasn't certain that this scenario could be avoided. Attention, you have received the status of deserter. Return to the quest zone. The message appeared with a slight delay. The system must have worked out how far I'd gone. According to Tatra, this message was the last thing she saw before the pain became unbearable. It didn't just knock her out, it had almost killed her. However, the skill was working because it felt like nothing had changed. But this didn't mean that the deserter status wouldn't be followed by other punishments. True Heart, MR, 8,959 of 10,000 SP. AR, 41,130 of 1,000,000 SP. Although I'd spent a lot on expanding the dungeon and then shuttling the goblins back and forth, the energy reserves remained quite high. There was no need to transfer points from the additional reserve to the main one yet. As usual, the heart responded to the Overlord's arrival with a burst of recognition and joy. It was nice to know that someone loved me and was waiting for me, even if it was a semi-sentient 3-meter crystal column. Activate the voice of the Overlord, 1 SP. Yuli, the evacuation was disrupted. Wait for me with a bag in the fortress beside the True Heart. MR 8,958 of 10,000. I didn't mention that it was actually the location of the false heart. Even if the elders knew the main secret of the dungeon, we hadn't discussed this topic. This wasn't what was worrying me right now. I put a hand on my chest and closed my eyes. Identification. Death mark, inactive. The Lich's mark hadn't disappeared despite the distance. It had only changed status, but it would be a millstone around my neck if I returned. Perhaps there were players in the army who had the skill to remove it, but I couldn't rely on that. Now for the next stage of my plan. I knelt down by the minor altar and placed my hand on it. The nascent soul inside opened its eyes.